Welcome back. As we said, we are going to shed more light on the important and long-awaited thriller or encounter between Cairo Red Devils of Al Ahly and Al Wydad of Casablanca of Morocco. The first leg in the African Champions League. This is going to take place here in Egypt, Cairo International Stadium, 10 p.m. Cairo local time. To shed more light on the encounter, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone our sports analyst, Mr. Mohamed Adel. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Starting with the squad and with the Cooler, before going into the details, taking into consideration that the first leg is going to take place here and the second is going to take place in Morocco, meaning it's going to be a little bit harder for us. What should Cooler do to make those who are going to travel feeling easier, more relaxed, and those who can bear the pressure of the Moroccan crowds in the standings, which are going to fill the stadium there, rather than our fans who are going to fill the stadium today in our first leg?
Well, talking about being difficult, being the game today between Al Ahly and Al Wydad, being the home game will be on Cairo Stadium, I believe it will be easier for Al Ahly players to play the home game here in Egypt, rather than playing the home game in Mohamed Stadium in Casablanca. I believe that the players, as they met Raja Casablanca in the quarterfinals, they played the home game in Cairo Stadium and they finished it with 2-0. I believe the most important thing today is not to concede a goal. It's the most important thing, rather than scoring, by the way, because as we are playing home and away games, we came back to the home and away system in the African Champions League final. So not conceding a goal in your home stadium is the most important thing. Even if, in the worst case scenario, it's a goalless draw, but not conceding a goal is the most important thing today.
A first priority. But since you mentioned that, sir, there was a lot of media reports and even, let's say, rumors until it was said clearly by Cooler yesterday in the press conference that Mohamed Shnawi is not in the squad. And he said that he preferred to rest El Shnawi and to have this this comparison between the fitness state or the readiness of Ali Lotfi and Choubair and Mustafa Choubair, and I think Mustafa Choubair is going to do it and to protect the net of Al Ahly today. How do you see this decision by Cooler?
Well, Mohamed Shnawi was absent for 17 days, whole 17 days from the trainings. And he was participating in just one training session. So he is not ready. By all means, he is not ready to play a final game. Even if there is a gap in the performance between Mohamed Shnawi and Ali Lotfi and Mustafa Choubair, but we did watch Ali Lotfi and Mustafa Choubair in the last 3 games, I believe, for Al Ahly in the Premier League. And they did well throughout the games they did play, especially Mustafa Choubair versus Cleopatra in the Egyptian Premier League. He did well versus the attacks of that team, and in that game that was ended by 2-0 for Al Ahly. I believe Cooler preferred to keep Shnawi ready for the future games and to be 100%, not 100%, more than 100% fit, rather than playing in a final, a very important game, but he is not that ready. I did remember what happened for Zamalek in a Confederation Cup final in 2019 versus Nadir Berkane of Morocco also. And at that time, the 2 main goalkeepers, it was Mahmoud Guinish and Ahmed Said, was absent because of the injury, and the Mahmoud Guinish had a red card versus Etoile Soleil of Tunisia. The third goalkeeper was Omar Salah, was present in the home game, which was in Berkane in Morocco. He was the third goalkeeper. So there are some circumstances that I believe the Swiss coaches, when we talking about Marcel Cooler, we will remember Christian Gross and what he did in that game. He got the third goalkeeper, which was Omar Salah, and I believe Marcel Koller today will depend on Mustafa
And in
Touray.
fact, we should say that, and we should confess that, since Michel Janken became responsible for Al Ahly goalkeepers, he is really doing great. And every time any one of them is tested, they do succeed. We are going to turn back to the tactics, to the performance, to the squad, to everything. But far from that, Abdallah Hamoud, the player of Al Wydad, unfortunately, he suffered from some pains and he went into a surgery, appendicitis, here in Cairo. And upon directives of Mahmoud Al Khatib, the president of Al Ahly, Samir Adli, one of Al Ahly veteran administrative body, visited Abdallah Hamoud in the hospital, and of course all the care is given to Hamoud, and we wish him all a speedy recovery. This is to say that any rumors regarding the relations between all of us as Arabs, as athletes, as two peoples, it's in vain to speak about that in a bad way. We are all brothers. We are all seeking just to enjoy our time and to enjoy the sports spirit. If you want to just comment on that.
I have only one comment, that it's the default.
Yes.
It's not something unique or something new for us. A part of what happened and the great relationships between the Egyptian responsibles and the Arab, Moroccan, Tunisian, Algerian, wherever the country is. But Adel Hamoud is a great miss for Wydad Casablanca tonight. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's a great miss because he was one of the very good players for Wydad Casablanca, and I believe Sven Vandenbroek will miss the quality of Adel Hamoud. We wish him all the best. We wish him a
I think also they're going to miss their Congolese professional.
Arsene Zola, the center back. The center back. I believe also that Arsene Zola
he is not going to be there. Well,
yes, sir, he is the main center back for Wydad Casablanca.
As far as I know, also that more even than 50,000 spectators or fans are going to fill the standings of the Cairo International Stadium, and this is going to be, I don't know, the player number 1 or number 12. How do you see this? Is it going to be a double scissor weapon, and it's going to tell us more who can play under pressure and who cannot?
Well, the game today, the final game between two of the more experienced teams playing in front of fans and spectators and encouragers. The 50,000 fans of Al Ahly, I believe it will be the player number 1. But put in consideration that they should be behind the team for the whole 90 minutes. The whole 90 minutes, because there were some comments about the fans, whether versus Esperance, Al Taraqi in the semi-finals, or Raja Casablanca, because some of the time the fans are not encouraging, are not chanting for the team. But today is the final, and they are facing a well-experienced team and playing all their games in front of 45,000 fans, at least in Morocco. So I believe the chanting and the encouraging for the whole 90 minutes will be one of the important weapons for Al Ahly. A part of the qualities of the players and the tactics. It's the final. It's the first final, the first home away final in the African Champions League since 2019. The last one was Wydad versus Esperance of Tunisia in 2019. So the comeback of the home away system of the Champions League final will give the chance for the fans to put all their emotions towards the players today. Very important 90 minutes for Al-Ahli team, very important 90 minutes and more for Al-Ahli fans, and as I believe they will be in the stadium since before the game by 4 or 5 hours at
4 or 5 hours at least.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Adel, you know, there are some players who really became very different under Kohler. I mean, Hussein al-Shahat under Kohler is different, Kahraba under Kohler is different, Mohamed Hani under Kohler is different, and those players are really I don't know if I can say this or no, booking their places, knowing well that they are going to start whenever Kohler is there. In addition to, they're relatively newcomer compared to them, Marwan Atiyah. How do you see this? I mean, should they all the time have this kind of confidence that with their performance they booked their place and they are going to start the 90 minutes, or with the rotation Kohler is moving on with or having it as his policy, no one can guarantee his position?
Well, as of the rotations we saw in the Egyptian Premier League games, no one is confident about having his position on the pitch. But as we know and as we did watch, we can predict who will play today. But at all, Marcel Kohler is not giving a guarantee or a carte blanche to one of the players.
But since you are doing good, you're going to continue. As we say, the winner is continuing. Al-Ghalib mustamir.
Yes, all the squad is ready for the game, whether Marwan Atiyah on the midfield or Hamdi Fathi or Aliou Dieng or Amr Soulaya, whether Hussein al-Shahat or Tahir Mohamed Tahir or Ahmed Abdel on the left winger. We will see on the right winger Persitao or whomever. Even Mahmoud Kahraba could play a right winger or left winger beside Mohamed Sharif. Really, we don't know how Kohler will play, and this make all the squad is being ready.
Let me put my question in other words, Mr. Adel. I think, in my humble opinion, of course, that Kohler's secret, Kohler's key word is to be what we call El Joker, the one who can slightly move from a position to the other and fill any gap whenever there is a gap.
Well, this type of players is very rare in Egypt, you know, and you cannot put any player in any position or one of 3 or 4 positions and he will do the best on it. So if you do, for an example, if you put Marwan Atiyah as a center back, he will not do as he's playing as a number 6 player. If you did put...
no, I'm going to give you 4 names. Marwan Atiyah, Hamdi Fathi, Mohamed Hani, Ali Ma'loul.
Well, they are keeping the positions. Mohamed Hani and Ali Ma'loul will keep the position on the right back and left back for Al-Ahli. Marwan Atiyah will be a number 6 player, a sole number 6 player in front of, I believe, Hamdi Fathi and Aliou Dieng, and he will keep Amr Soulaya as a great and important substitute for the some of the home game time today, as Amr Soulaya came back from a big injury, and he did well in the Egyptian Premier League last games. He scored versus Salah Al Gish from the penalty point. So I believe that Mohamed Hani is keeping his position, Ali Ma'loul is keeping his position, Mohamed Abdel Manaf is keeping his position, Yasser Ibrahim will keep his position and play tonight. Hamdi Fathi as the number 6 sole player, as I told you. I believe Hamdi Fathi and Aliou Dieng will begin today. On the right winger will be Persitao. On the left winger, I believe Hussein al-Shahat is keeping his position and he's doing great with Al-Ahli. Persitao and Hussein al-Shahat are the most players who scored and assisted for Al-Ahli in the African Champions League of this season. And I believe Mahmoud Kahraba will begin today, as I believe Mohamed Sharif will begin in the away game in Casablanca, inshallah, next Sunday.
Inshallah. Let me take you a little bit far from what's going to happen today. Have you dreamed or imagined a duet between Akram Tawfiq, we wish him, of course, a speedy recovery, and Marwan Atiyah, whether in Al Ahly or in the Egyptian national team?
Sorry, I cannot get it, please.
Sir, have you imagined a duet between Akram Tawfiq, of course, we wish him a speedy recovery, and Marwan Atiyah, whether in Al Ahly or with the national team?
Well, it depends on color tactics when
Or
Akram came
Vitora.
back, because we know Akram is playing before the injury as a right back player.
Yeah.
And nowadays we're watching Mohamed is doing great, and one of his greatest moments with Al Ahly. So I believe Color can use Akram Tawfiq as a midfield player as he used to play, whether with Al Ahly, with MP, and with the Olympic national team. I believe he may depend on Akram Tawfiq as a duet with Marwan Atiyah, but on the same time, Marwan Atiyah is doing great as the sole number 6 player. He is depending on Hamdi Fathi and Ali Dieng or Amr Sulaya as the pivots, the double pivot of number 8
just
players.
returning from injury, we wish that he is going to continue on the right path without any more injuries. One final question, Mr. Adel, about another name, Ayman Ashraf. And what caller said about Ayman Ashraf, that he is number 5 for me, and there is nothing personal, but if he is going to perform well in the training session, he might have a chance. In 1 minute, what do you see? How do you see this in 1 minute?
In 10 seconds, I believe it's over for Ayman Ashraf, and for Marcel Koller, I believe Ayman Ashraf is spending his final time with Al Ahly. Nowadays, I believe he will be out of the Ahly squad in this summer. As he is number 5 after being number 1 defender for the most of his time with Al Ahly. I believe Ayman Ashraf will be out of the Ahly squad. It's over. I believe it's over.
Mr. Mohamed Adel, our sports analyst, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. Many thanks. By this, we come to the end of our episode of our breakfast show today. Tomorrow is another episode and another crew. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates. And for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. You were in the company of my dear colleague and friend Amal Mukhtar and myself, Nirmina Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching.